Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather, and on this channel we like to walk a very fine line between a shopping addicted makeup monster and a responsible adult with makeup hobby. Now, I really enjoy eyeshadow singles, duochromes, monochromes, blush, highlight, lip gloss, basically everything except pressed glitter, and today we're going to be doing an absolutely unhinged collective haul for everything that I picked up during Black Friday. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick with me, we're getting into it right now. I do want to say thank you so much to everybody who reached out to me while I was on my hiatus. I really honestly was not sure whether or not I was coming back to YouTube, but I definitely miss it. I don't know that I can post as much as I was posting because I started a new job over the summer, and that job has been wonderful, but it definitely takes up a lot more time than my old job. So hopefully I can find or strike a new balance. I have a lot of things that I want to get accomplished in the new year. So number one is getting back on track with my channel. All right, so getting back to where we left off. If you guys would like to see a video kind of catching you up to speed on what's been going on in my life over the last 6 months, please let me know in a comment down below. But let's get started with this haul. It's going to be a long one. Oh, it's so much worse than I thought. I would say get a snack, but I hate when people say that. So the first thing that I picked, well, not the first thing, but the first brand I'm going to talk about, because I'm going to try to go by brand to make this a little bit less painful, was the ItsBelCosmetics Tropical Nights collab with Singe Beauty. So ItsBel is going out of business, or I guess officially is out of business at this point. And when they were going out of business, they had this palette at like a steep discount. So I did go ahead and pick up the palette because I love the squishy metallics that they use. And then there was a blush palette, blush slash highlighter, I guess. So here's the blush and highlighter palette that goes with it. I thought those were very cute colors. Now there's a lot of warm tone colors in here, which are not necessarily always my favorite, but I did still think it would be a nice collection and kind of rounds out everything from ItsBel in my collection. And then I did pick up one loose pigment, which was this blackened like blue to plum to sort of pink at the extreme angles, multi-chrome pigment. So that's what I got from ItsBel. And next up, I guess I'll talk about Blend Bunny. I went a little crazy at Blend Bunny's website. I wanted to pick up everything that I didn't already have from them, and I basically went the whole year most of the year without picking up anything from Blend Bunny. So I picked up a bunch of stuff now. I finally got my hands on the Trove Quad, which is that multi-chrome quad that they had. And I had picked up the Ellis Atlantis eyeshadow palette, but I had not picked up the blush palettes, so I waited until Black Friday to pick those up as well. Blend Bunny does such a phenomenal Black Friday sale, you guys. So this is the peachy coral orangey one, and then this is the pink one, which I think I'll obviously get a little bit more use out of than the other one, but I did want to have both because I just thought, like, the sun and the moon and everything, I really liked the ambiance of those, so I wanted to make sure I picked up both. I picked up 2 more of the brush sets because I actually really like those brushes. So I also picked up the Doni Darkowitz collection here. So I have the eye and face palette first. The eye and face palette, which looks like that. The cheek highlighter palette, which looks like that. What is with some of these palettes being so tight in their box? You can barely get them out. And then I did also pick up the Welch Divination collab, which I think is by far one of the most exciting collabs that Blend Bunny has done. I like this one because it has some really pretty gradients, but everything is very like smoky, which I think is going to be a really, really beautiful addition to my collection. And then from their newest collection, I picked up both the palettes and the brushes. I guess I should say the eye brushes, not the water activated liner brush set, because I didn't really care about those. So this is the eyeshadow side. So that's the eyeshadow side right there, very pretty. And then the Glisten Cosmetics side has the liners. This actually launched right after I had taken my kids to like a festival at my job. And they did this like face painting station with my kiddos, and they had an absolute blast. My one daughter got a unicorn all down the side of her face. The other one got like a Hello Kitty kind of thing. And I thought this would be so great if I ever wanted to do something like that, that I would have like a bundle of water activated liners to use. So that's part of what encouraged me to get that actually purchased. Next up, we'll do Fantasy Cosmetica. I picked up 3 of their holochrome eyeshadows from their, was it the library collection or whatever? But I thought those were really pretty and kind of cool toned, which I thought would be lovely for me. And then I picked up the Harvest of Souls palette. I was gonna pick up the collab palette that they did with Makeup Just for Fun, but when I looked at it, it just seemed like the colors that I liked in that one were similar to what I had in this one, so I just went with this one instead. But I think these kind of plummy shades are very pretty. The blues, the greens, obviously these kind of olivey shades catch my eye too, so I think this will be a really pretty one to play with. I guess I'll do a quick interlude for fragrances here. So I did do a bundle of 3 fragrances from Alt Fragrance, which I have not tried before, but I thought these would be nice ones to pick. Amber Angel, which is the Angel's Envy from Killian's dupe. And then I picked up White Sun and Cherry Smash, which are Tom Ford dupes. Something Soleil is the dupe for this one, and then this is the Lost Cherry. So hopefully these are quite nice. I've not tried alt fragrances before, so fingers crossed they're decent. Next up, I purchased the entire eye brush set from Singe Beauty because it was on sale, and I don't think they've had as good of a price on that since they launched, and they've had a couple sales, but were not as good as what they did for Black Friday. But I did want to pick up the Galactic Visitor palette from Angie's brand. That's their like initial launch palette. So I definitely wanted to make sure I picked this one up, and I figured while I was picking this one up, I might as well pick up the brushes. So they all made it home with me. And then from Cosmic Beauty, I only picked up one palette. I was definitely debating about picking up that holiday palette that they just launched, but I just thought I have so many things that I'm purchasing right now, I can probably wait on that one. So I went ahead and got this one because it had been on my wish list. And obviously it's a lot like warmer than what I normally wear, but it has a lot of really pretty like khaki olivey greens, which is definitely a vibe for me. So I wanted to go ahead and pick this one up and kind of round out my Cosmic Beauty collection. Then I picked up some stuff from Klarity Kosmetics, and they were kind enough to send me like a little gift. So I'll show you what I picked up first. And this is the only, well, kind of the only palette that I used before showing you guys. This is the Forbidden Love palette. Now I wanted this as soon as this came out. Like the packaging on this is so pretty. So I have wanted this since it launched, but I was like, no, Heather, you don't really need it. You have so many like palettes with this same color story. And then Black Friday rolled around and they had this really good sale, and I was like, you know what? The hell with it. And so I went ahead and ordered it, and I'm so happy that I did. I think these 2 shades here make such a beautiful, cool toned, like neutral kind of a smoky eye. I've really liked playing with kind of this lighter purple shade as well. The deep shades over here are really pretty. These 2 I think are a little bit too similar in this palette, but otherwise I think this is a really well-rounded, well-curated palette, and I've definitely enjoyed playing with it. So hopefully I enjoy playing with the rest of them. The other 2 I picked up were the Mermazing and the Lost Kingdom. So these are 2 of the 3 like mermaid theme palettes that they put out. This is the lighter like green, blue, purple palette. And then Lost Kingdom is like the deeper, darker sister palette. Lost Kingdom is this like deeper color story, but I do think this is a really, really pretty color story. So very excited to have those. And then the gifts that she sent along were 2 kind of neutral eyeshadows from the Valentine's Day collection that they did. And then there was a lip gloss and a liquid lip. Forget which one is which though. Don't tell me you're ruining my manicure already. Oh, so this is the liquid lipstick. This is in the shade Mittens, and as you can see, it is dark gray blue. So that one's going to be a bit of an effort to kind of work with. And then the lip gloss, and this is Gemini. So it's kind of a mid-toned, like rosy, pinky red kind of a shade. Next up is Kaleidos, and the order that I made, they sent a bunch of stickers with. I did get a quad of lippies, and so they let me pick out one of the boxes, and I just thought this was the prettiest one because it was so like deep and dark. So this is actually bouncing back to the Blend Bunny stuff. This is the Divination gloss. This is one of the 2 glosses with the Robert Welch collection, so that's why there's an extra lip gloss sitting here. Back to Kaleidos. So my Kaleidos bundle, I got 3 glosses and a liquid lip. So the shades that I got are Hot Pursuit, Last Smoke, which was the shade that I thought was absolutely the prettiest. The other gloss that I got is Free Fall, which is one of the glittery ones. Oh, it's so pretty. And then Smeared Rouge. Oh my gosh, this I have had on my damn wish list for probably 2 years at this point. It's like a deep, deep, deep burgundy, almost black. And then they sent over a coconut oil lip treatment as well, so thank you to them for that. All right, so the highlighter that I picked up was Star Surfer, which looks like this. It's like a champagne, peachy, almost pink kind of a color. Very, very pretty. And then I picked up the Venus Trap Quad, which is the like more rosy, smoky, silvery pink one. And then the Twilight Rush Quad, which is the purple one. So overall, excited to play with those as well. And that is my Kaleidos stuff. Next up, I picked up 2 things from Natasha Denona, so I'll show you those real quick. I was really like hyped to pick up highlighters from her, so that's kind of what I focused on. I picked up the Super Glow because every time I have tried to pick this up, whenever it was a sale, this was always sold out. So this is the fair shade for the Super. And then I did also pick up the My Dream Trio. So this is like this softer, more like nude and neutral kind of shade. So very excited to play with those 2 things as well. We'll do ColourPop next. I was not even sure I was going to pick up stuff from ColourPop, but then I saw the Bratz palette went on sale, and I thought the actual color story of this one was pretty fresh and innovative compared to a lot of the stuff that has been launched by ColourPop recently. So I definitely wanted to go ahead and pick this one up. I think there are 3 of those glitter-like shades in here. I don't love those personally, so I may sub them out for other shades in my singles collection. But I was very excited to get those. And then I did pick up a brush roll as well. This is an e.l.f. brush that I had picked up, but I took this with me on a recent work trip, and it was very, very handy. So I was excited to pick up both of those things. And then speaking of e.l.f., I did want to pick up some of the Glow Reviver lip oils, the glowy ones. So there were 3 shades that came out that I was super interested in. These are Candy Coated, Divine Wine, and Opology Tour. Oh God, I hate these names. They're so like puntastic. But those are those. And then I picked up 2 of the lip pencils because I think they have pretty decent lip pencils and they're only $2. I picked up 2 more of these double complexion brushes because they are super duper handy, especially when I'm traveling. And then 1 random brush because I think I needed to get like $1 or 2 more in my cart in order to get my free shipping and 2 gifts. So I'd already gotten so close, I just added 1 brush. And then the 2 free gifts that I got were a mini of the liquid poreless putty primer and then the Power Grip primer with niacinamide in it. So those were the 2 little free gifts with purchase from e.l.f. So next up, I did pick up 1 palette, the Spellbound palette from Jolie Beauty. I had half a mind to pick up, there was like a neutral one too, and then they had this like star-crossed lovers skeleton looking mirror, but the mirror sold out like immediately before Black Friday, so I ended up not getting that one at all. And then this is not wanting to slide out of its little house. So Jolie Beauty, if you ever come across my page, please, for the love of God, make those a little looser so I can actually keep them. But this is a Spellbound palette, and again, it's a beautiful green, blue, purple, swampy mermaid color story. I said maybe last year or the year before that like all of these kind of palettes that were like green, blue, purple, that were cool toned, kind of swampy undertones. When these palettes came out, I was going to have a really hard time resisting them, and that is exactly what happened. So this one definitely got added to my collection. The only pressed glitter in this palette, for the record, is this one. The rest of them are squishy metallic-y shades, and I can't wait to play with this. So there's another one for you. And then I got one palette from a new brand I had not tried before. This is YVA Expressions, and they did these like squishy duochrome 8-pan palettes. One is like the moon, and the other one was the sun. The sun one was very warm toned, which you know is not my vibe, but the moon one, like this, is me in an 8-pan. So I definitely had to have this one. So I was very, very excited to pick that up. And then it did come with a little bookmark, and I don't know if this is a sticker. I think it might actually be a sticker, but came with a little sticker and bookmark. So thank you to them. And then I'll show you the stuff I got from Bella Beauty Bar. I just picked up 2 things. Oh gosh, it still has all the little protectors in it. So this is the Vamp palette. And again, one of the ones that I had on my list as soon as it launched, but I wanted to wait until Black Friday so I could order everything all at once, because their shipping is not cheap. And I don't love the fact that you can't get to free shipping. Like, I would love if I spent so many hundreds of dollars or whatever that I got free shipping, but they don't do that. The other one I picked up was Pastel Garden. This had been something I had been considering getting for a while, and just finally was like, yeah, sure, why not? Throw it in the cart. So here we go. God, I feel like we're not even halfway there. Might be, but I feel like we're not. All right, and then from Unearthly, I picked up a couple of things. This lip gloss trio, which I most definitely did not need, but the colors were like speaking to me. So we got some pretty shades there, one of which looks a lot like the Divination gloss from Robert Welch and Blend Bunny. And then I picked up 2 of the palettes, Gargoyle and Spring Magic. So let me show you those. So here is Gargoyle, again, kind of the swampy, cool toned greens and blues. There's some neutrals in there, but definitely my style. And then Spring Magic was kind of the brighter, poppier color story here. And this one reminded me a lot. There's a April Showers Bring May Flowers palette or whatever from Singe Beauty, and this one reminded me a lot of that, but I just like the Unearthly formula, so I thought, you know, if I'm already getting these other things, then I might as well get it from this brand to save on shipping. So I did go ahead and pick those 3 things up from Unearthly. I did also finally get my advent calendar from Cleona. Right after I ordered it, the Canadian Postal Service went on strike, so they were on strike for a good long while, and my package was just sitting at the airport, but then finally made its way all the way to me, so I do have that. I just haven't started opening any of them yet, because we are well past Advent time at this point. All right, next I'll show you Notoriously Morbid. I picked up a car freshener from them, so that's actually down in my purse to go outside to my car. And then my free gift with purchase was a lip balm, which is in the shade Midnight Whiskers, and I forget what that's supposed to smell like. I think blackberry or something. But the real thing I was excited about is the palettes. The Bog Witch palette, which looks like this, had caught my interest previously, as well as this Gold Dust Woman palette. And again, I'm not usually like a warm tone neutrals girly, but for some reason, like the yellow bumblebee kind of warm tones, I don't mind as much. So that one definitely appealed to me, but both of them had been out of stock for a really long time. I thought they were retired. And then they restocked around the time of Black Friday. So actually a little bit before Black Friday, but regardless, this all kind of showed up around the same time. And then this is the Madame Violet one as well. So I thought those were very pretty. And then this was one that I was very excited about. This is the Modern Witches Guidebook, and it's a highlighter eyeshadowy combo palette, but it looks like this. The textures on these shades are ridiculous. So I was really, really excited about this one. So all of these I'm very, very excited to get into. All right, next up, I guess we'll do Nomad. And basically for Nomad, I spent all year not buying their palettes so that I could buy them all at once. And some of that was because I wanted to use a lot of what I already had here. So I was on this mission to use what I had at home, in which case I didn't need to buy more stuff. But then when Black Friday rolled around, then I was ready to buy more stuff. So this is one of the 6-pan travel palettes that they came out with. It's the cool toned one. It's the Oslo travel palette. And then the Polar Express looked absolutely exquisite. I was really excited to get this one too. And then the Chicago Speakeasy is the other one that was really speaking to me. Again, it's got some warm tone neutrals, but it also has these kind of like, it also has these softer lavender kind of shades, which I thought were really pretty in pictures, and the looks that I saw people do with them I thought were really pretty. So although I won't use a whole lot on this side of the palette, this 9-pan I definitely will get a good use out of. Oh my gosh! No fatalities with that Fallen palette, so we are good to keep going. Next up was the Fuji 5 Lakes palette, which looks like this. And this is the inside. It's definitely got that like yellow, kind of tealy green and then red color story, which I think looks really pretty together. And then these last two are ones that I was kind of like, do I need them? No. But they took me to the next like discount tier, and I'm such a freak collector anyway for Nomad that I just went ahead and picked them up. So the first is the Keys Beachy and Peachy palette, which I think is a replacement for that like Tropical Paradise palette that they had a couple years ago. And then we had the Ireland palette, which again, kind of those olivey greens spoke to me. I don't care too much about the golds, but of course in an Ireland palette, I'm not at all shocked to see gold. But that's what I picked up from Nomad. Then Glamlight. So Glamlight actually had, I think, a 35% off palette, or 35% off deal like a week or so before Black Friday, and I actually just decided to get stuff then rather than waiting until Black Friday, because I wasn't sure what the Black Friday sale was going to look like, and I wasn't sure if stuff was going to sell out. So I got the Cherry Coca-Cola palette, which again is kind of this rosy purple palette. I'm a huge Coke Zero fan, so that appealed to me. And then I did get the highlighter that goes with it, and really because it looked like a bottle cap, I thought that was so cool. And then the actual highlight itself is duochrome pink to gold, so you can kind of see it in my lighting. It kind of catches on the way across. Die cut packages are so tight you can barely get stuff in them. Okay. And then there was a bunch of like the horror palettes that I hadn't picked up yet. Not a bunch, two. But one of them was the Ghostface Returns palette, which was this kind of red, brown, black and blue-ish kind of palette. So I wanted to make sure I picked that one up. I did cave and pick up the Ghostface Halloween Duochrome highlighter duo here. And then I did pick up the Halloween 2 palette. I really wasn't sure that I was going to, because again, I'm not like a horror person. This is not at all my aesthetic. But I thought the actual color story was really pretty with kind of these smoky blue-gray shades, and then the orange. I thought it was a little bit more intriguing than the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, which was like super blue and orange. And then I also picked up the highlighter that goes with that one, because it was kind of this like peachy gold number. Looks like that. We are down to one more indie brand, and then Ulta, and then I think we are finally done. I picked up a bunch of stuff from Odins Eye. So they had all these little mini palettes, which I thought were very pretty, magnetic palettes, and then I picked up one of the big ones as well. Really just because I thought for travel purposes, these are so pretty, and it would get me more like energized about taking smaller stuff with me when I go traveling. And I picked up the 2 Christmas palettes, so let's take a look at those. We have Silvery Bliss, which has this kind of red and gray color story that I thought was really pretty. And then Rosy Jingle is definitely like the softer, brighter little sister here. Very bubblegum pink kind of thing, right? But I have an issue with regretting palettes when I don't pick them up from Odins Eye, so I did go ahead and just get them both. And then Soulmane 2, I don't know how I missed this one when it first launched. I don't know if I was just on my mission to not be buying as much or if I truly just missed it because I kind of fell off the map for a little while. But this is like right up my alley with these cool tone blues and grays, like these kind of deep aqua shades. That is all me. So I definitely had to pick that up. And then the one that was most eye-catching for me was this Eternal Twilight palette. Now the packaging on this is probably my favorite packaging of all time for them. Very, very beautiful. And then the color story inside, obviously the warm tones are not as exciting as the cool tones in my eyes, but I think both are very pretty and would play very nicely together. And then I loved the packaging for the highlights and blushes, so I did pick up one of each just because I wanted this packaging so badly. This is the Luminous Highlighter in Subtle Radiance, which is this kind of minty aquamarine blue-green kind of a shade. Very glittery. And then the blush that I picked up is Radiant Flame, and it is like a super, super pink shade there. I know it's pulling almost coral, but it is like hot pink, almost tomato red in the pan. So, okay, last but not least, oh gosh, I have Moira and then I have Ulta. Wow, this is smaller than I thought it was. Okay. So from Moira, I just picked up a couple of things. I got kind of back into accent liners. So I picked up green, blue, and pink for these liquid accent liners that I could use their brush tip. And then I picked up 3 of the brush tip, like glittery kind of eyeshadow eyeliners. And so there's an iridescent green one here at the top. And then you've got an aqua turquoisey blue, and then an iridescent pink with blue shimmer in it. So I thought those would be pretty as well. And I picked up one of these highlighters. I don't know why, but on the website, in my brain, they were like huge, like dinner plate sized. And it's not. And this is the Dreamlight highlighter in Honeysuckle. And I thought it just had this really pretty like luminosity to it. And I think that's going to be really pretty on the face, on the cheeks. Very like subtle, not super glittery. That is my small Moira purchase. Now we are ready for Ulta. So from Ulta, I got my birthday gift, which was the Bumble and Bumble thickening spray. I picked up 2 of these Dashing Diva Salon Gel manicure strips. So these are like a French, like a soft French, ombre French. And then these have like cute little flowers and then like burgundy solid panels to use. I don't know, I've been really into these recently. I just think they're so easy to use and they tend to look a little nicer on my nails than traditional polish does, although I have about 1 billion nail polishes. I've just really been liking those recently for my hands. I picked up the Tropic Glow Firming Body Oil from Tree Hut because it smelled super good and I thought that would be nice coming out of the shower, especially when it's so dry in the winter. I had to re-up my Vanilla & Co. Clean It Zero, which is the cleansing balm that I use to take all this makeup off at the end of the day. I picked up 2 fragrances, Chai Épice and Pêche Délicieuse, which are 2 of the Le Monde Gourmand fragrances, so I was super excited to get those. And then I picked up the AHA, BHA, PHA, LHA 35 peel from CosRX and a re-up of the retinol from The Ordinary because I was almost out of mine. And then NARS did their holiday palette, right? And normally I'm like, I can kind of take or leave those. But this one was so pretty when I swatched it in stores that I was like, yeah, I'm going to need that to come home with me. And I went to like 2 different Ultas and it was completely out of stock. So I thought, oh, I must have just missed the window on that. And then when I went to go get my, I had a couple of things I needed to get for Christmas and I discovered this sitting on a shelf all by its lonesome, completely untouched. I have since touched it, but completely untouched, and it was on sale. So between that and the coupon I had, it brought it down to like 30 bucks, which for a $60 NARS palette is a pretty good deal. I was very happy with that. And then I did also pick up the Eco Tool set. I don't know why, but this brush here and this brush here gave me like nice highlighter vibes. I'm not sure what I'll use the rest of these for, but those were the two brushes I was most excited to try, so I did pick that up as well. Last but certainly not least, I swatched this in one of the Target Ultas, and then I was like, at some point, I'm gonna get that and bring it home. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, okay. I thought one of the colors was destroyed because there's like powder on the outside packaging, but I think it's just like extra debris because it otherwise looks good. This is the ABH Sugar palette that just came out this year as well. And I just thought the shades in the middle here were so sparkly. I loved this deep pinky shade here with the little glitter pinpoints in it. So I definitely wanted to pick this one up as well. Wow, you guys. Okay, so a few disclaimers. Does anybody ever need this much makeup? No. And you definitely don't need to try to keep up with me. There is no reason to do that. There is no competition here. I am just a lover of makeup, and I love collecting makeup, and my like free disposable income, this is what I like to spend it on. I had a very generous stipend that was given to me due to some excess work that I had done, and so I was able to get all this stuff without having to spend any money on like credit cards or go into any debt or anything like that, which was great. So will I do this every year? Probably not. But I thought this would be at least fun to kind of take a peek and see what I had been shopping the last, 6 to 8 weeks or so that you could get a vibe for what I have in store coming in the next year. Now, like I said before, if you would like to see a video talking about what I've been doing for the last 6 months and how my job has changed, how the new job is going, definitely let me know, and I will try to film something like that for you. If there's anything in particular you'd like to see reviews on or you'd like to see demos for, please let me know in a comment down below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and I will see you very soon in another video.